Now, one of the very first videos that Andrea and I did together was what?
The GLC.
And it got a lot of views. People liked you, liked the car, and I've always wanted to get this version back, but it was never available in the press fleet until now.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, it's so turbocharged, so fun to drive, sporty,
Yeah.
just what I love.
And more expensive. It is the GLC43 AMG, and we're going to talk a little bit about, is it a real AMG car when we get inside. Now, a couple of things on the outside. This has, I think it's called the night optics package, so you get the dark trim around the windows and around the wheels.
Yes.
I think it looks really good with the white and black combination.
Yes, like an Oreo cookie, right?
Okay. But that's black on the outside, white on the inside.
It is, but it's still the contrast of black and white.
Or how about a Dalmatian?
Sure, Dalmatian, but no spots.
So this car, I think, looks really good. Interestingly, when you configure these online, if you want to get the bigger wheels, you automatically have to take this optics package and the premium package on the inside.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the packages, which is a bit of a problem. This thing gets expensive in a hurry.
It sure does, in a hurry.
Let's get in a hurry and go for a drive.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
Do you want to put it in sport?
Yeah, put it in sport. Although I have to say the comfort is really
better
good.
for the city. I find the sport a little bit jerky in the city.
It is a little jerky, but I do like the sport, but the comfort is excellent.
I would leave it in comfort suspension, but sport engine and transmission.
Yeah. Is this so fun? This is such a fun car. It reminds me...
Okay, now you can hit it. Oh, my cheat sheet.
Whoa, you're losing your nose. It's just so fun to drive, so much power, so sporty.
Yeah, this has almost 400 horsepower.
I know, and it has more than the Porsche Macan S.
Has more than the GTS.
Yeah, more than the GTS.
I did a little configuring online this morning before we went out, and the closest to this really, of course, is BMW, the arch rival of Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
So they have the X3 with the inline six-cylinder. It's called M40i. Is 382, so about the same.
Right. No, yeah, not far off, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I feel like I'm in a little cockpit here.
It
and
is-
I love the steering wheel.
Do you like this faux
Oh,
suede?
I love it. I love the feel. It just tickles my senses. Love it.
Now, this is actually dated. Like, this vehicle's been out for several years, but it still is fresh. Like, I remember when I saw this interior first in the C-Class sedan, and then they put it in the GLC, the C-Class of utilities.
Yes.
It's held up, don't you think?
It's really held up. I mean, Mercedes does such a wonderful job anyway with their interior. Even if this isn't brand new, they were already way ahead of their time.
Yeah, but not before this. Like the older, like the GLK, not so good.
Yeah.
So recent Mercedes-Benz have really upped the game. Now, so this is going to be replaced in the next probably
You were
18
saying
months.
that,
In the
yeah.
next 18 months. But even today, in 2020, it still looks
And this
current.
color, I mean, I love the black with the cranberry contrast. It's not too much cranberry.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
That's like a Crantini. You know what's
Crantini.
interesting? We got this car, and I said to Andrea, I said, this is like the perfect targeted car at the Asian market. A lot of Asian buyers like white cars, not generalizing, I mean, but they do. Typically, we see them here in Vancouver. A lot of people like white cars, and red is very popular with Asian buyers.
Yes.
It's supposed to be good luck, I think. For the world market, like for the Asian market, which is so important to all car brands,
Right.
this would be a seller for
Yes.
sure. All right. Now, this has the bi-turbo V6 engine. BMW has the inline turbo six-cylinder engine. The Macan has less horsepower than this, which is surprising considering it always sort of puts itself out there as the premium sporty brand.
Well, I was really surprised. I did a little research as well, and I couldn't believe that the GTS didn't have as much.
Yeah.
And I was focusing on the S as a comparison to this. So that was really surprising. And this feels a little bit wider, a little bit more comfortable, I think, than the Macan is. in my opinion.
Yeah, it could just be optics. I think that they're all roughly the same size. What I notice on the outside, those big fat wheels on it, the wider stance of this car.
My favorite.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're going to buy any GLC, whether it's the base model or the higher trims, get the AMG Sport Package. It just looks better. And the night package, as I mentioned, gives you that black trim. So here's one of the cheeky things that Mercedes-Benz does. Okay, you see the big screen here? Okay, the transmission on and off the throttle, it can be a little bit jerky.
Yeah, it's a little bit jerky.
When you put it in sport.
It's a lot of stop and go traffic though in the city. That's the problem. When you get it on the highway, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's great on the highway. But the thing is, if you put it in individual, and then you can have the transmission, you know, in the more comfort oriented. The interesting thing is, in the city, the comfort is very, very good.
So good.
Yeah, and then you just hit the suspension button and you can change it. All right.
There's a lot of variety here, which is quite nice to have.
You also have, just like Porsche does, the dial on the steering wheel now. You can change it just with a quick setting, which is good. I guess you're on the highway, you just pop that on,
For sure.
and away you go. Okay.
But I need my shifter. Where's my shifter?
That's really a game changer for you, isn't it? You don't like this shifter?
I know. I've never liked it. I don't know why maybe some of these sportier cars move away from it, but they don't. They keep giving me this shifter.
I think you get used to it pretty fast.
I don't. If I'm going to spend this much money, I want everything to be just so.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing about this car. The big screen there is 10.25 inches. Everybody wants bigger screens.
Beautiful, nice floating screen.
Yeah, you want to have the keyless entry with the push button start. They call that, what do they call it again? They call it keyless go. Of course, I should know that. You get the Easy Pack power liftgate and some other features. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is $6,200.
Way too much.
So this thing starts at roughly 65, and then you add another 6,000, which is what basically they want to sell you. So why don't they just charge more and give you all of that stuff?
It would make sense, but here's the thing. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, that should be standard. That's crazy that is part of a package where you have to pay $6,000 more. That's just not on.
Yeah, I agree with you. What other things does this have? This has the AMG driver's package. That gets you that two-tone steering wheel that you like. Performance exhaust. I'm kind of mixed on the performance exhaust. I find sometimes when you're driving it can be a bit drony. And this one has the 21-inch wheels. That's another $3,000. So now we're at night package for the black trim on the outside of $1,000. The AMG driver's package is $3,000, and the premium package is $6,200. And the grand total, I haven't even added a few of the other things, is $85,000.
Wow.
AMG.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's not exactly the way you spell oh my God. Sport. It's kind of hard not to go sport.
With this and this engine and this horsepower and this torque, how could we not?
385 horsepower, 384 pound-feet of torque.
That's right.
Almost 400 horsepower, almost 400 pound-feet of torque. Now here's the thing is, do you remember when we first started dating, I bought this beautiful, long, low, sleek, black car with 2 doors. What was it, hon?
It was the M6.
I had a BMW M6.
Yeah.
And
I have to think about that. What letter did it start with?
Yeah,
M6.
M6, okay.
And it was a beauty.
It was a beautiful car. Back in those days, if you had an M or you had an AMG, this is what this is, they were really unique hand-built cars. And now AMG and M is just another production run. They're not really special other than the fact that they have more equipment on them. And in my opinion, I think they've kind of cheapened AMG and M a little bit. So it's just talking about how important the Chinese market is to all brands.
Yeah.
And the Chinese buyers are much more status driven when it comes to badges.
Sure.
So they've done this, they've done it for all markets, but really because of that market, and it seems to be working. They're selling more AMGs and more M's than ever.
Yeah, you see that.
And this used to just be like the 6-cylinder version used to be just like a higher spec version. Now it's AMG. But to their credit, they actually have added quite a bit of performance features. I was in a Falterbach in Germany a year or so ago on an AMG program, and the head of AMG, we had an interview with him, and I asked him, I said, do you find that they're just diluting AMG by putting it on every vehicle? He says, no, we actually do drill into these vehicles and change the suspension, change the calibration of the transmission. They do all of that.
Yes.
And do you feel that when you drive it?
For sure, I feel it. Don't you?
Yeah. I used to be a real naysayer saying they're just selling you the name, but this vehicle, more than any, I actually do feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you change the settings on the steering wheel or in the center, there is a marked difference. And one thing I've never been a fan of in vehicles is air suspension. This has air suspension, but I like it. You know why?
Why?
Because it's smooth when you want it and it's firm when you need it.
Okay. I just like it firm.
I know.
You always have to go there, don't you? Can't you just go with a firm ride?
Yes, it's got a nice firm ride. I know you like a firm ride. What else did I want to say?
Too much fun is being had here, I think.
Yeah.
Let's get back to work and be professional, please.
Yeah, so I think we can kind of wrap it up here. Interior, even though this is dated, still looks good.
It looks great, and there's plenty of storage when you look at the side compartments in the door. I love it that they have cup holders. I think there's 3 in here, and I think that makes a big difference. The back seat is very comfortable. Cargo-wise,
I went to Costco. I got a full Costco run in there, no problem.
Good for you. It's not quite as big as some of the others in the category, but it's still plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. And the big sunroof is great. It's something that you would expect in a luxury vehicle, especially at this price point. You got to have it.
But you have to pay for it. It's part of a package.
Of course, you have to pay extra for everything.
So a couple of things. Compact utility vehicles have exploded in popularity, but what's also exploded is the price, right? So we're not even talking about a GLE or a GLS. This is sort of like an entry level, but premium.
But a premium car, and I think that's the biggest problem is people are going to feel like they are outpriced and the cost goes up quickly.
Yeah.
Any extras, you're going to pay for them.
The GLC, the base 300, is still a great product.
It is.
But this is better.
Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below.